The source of all life, the source of everything, rises in the east every morning and is, in fact, for those who really understand, the morning star. Is that not correct?
Absolutely, and that gives a great illumination, if I may say so, as to why the worshipful master sits in the east of the lodge, and also why during the ritual, when a young unknowing Freemason like myself is brought in and has a degree conferred upon him, he circumnavigates it as he walks around in a circle from all the points of the lodge, going from the worshipful master in the east to the junior warden in the south to the senior warden in the west, and then back to the master in the east. He is traveling as the earth travels around the sun in a circle of worship, and it might even be a direct reference to Solomon's circle. And if you've told me yourself, Bill, about the traveling man, that too has been used by communists, hasn't it?
Yes, in fact, anyone who knows anything about the Internationale, or the secret society known as the International, the Internationale, the Communist Party, the International Socialists, Socialism, if you studied them, the same passwords are used by them. All of these organizations are one. Socialism stems from the mystery schools. That's where it comes from. You'll find that most of the mystery schools preach the tenets of the Communist Manifesto, written by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, whom, by the way, just wrote it. They were the hacks who fronted for it. They did not make it up. It came out of ancient documents and an ancient philosophy. And the password is the same. Are you a traveling man? And that's how communists identified themselves to each other from cell to cell and country to country, and kept their business secret. And I got that straight out of the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation in their investigations of the International, the Communist Party, International Socialism. They're all the same. Freemasonry, the Knights of Malta, the Rosencross, they're all the same organization, folks. And remember, one of their tenets is, and in fact, Adam Weishaupt said this: the strength of our order lies in its concealment and in its many different names, appearing under many different names and many different occupations, sometimes even appearing to oppose ourselves. But at the highest levels, they're all the same, because they use the system to coerce the people to go along what they want. If they want to change something in a certain direction, they'll look at the population, the society, the problems that exist, and they will intentionally foment a problem in order to get the people to cry for an answer to that problem, which will be the direction that they want to take that society into. They will create two opposing groups. At the top of these two opposing groups will be their people, so that it's a controlled conflict, bringing about a controlled resolution or a desired end. And you guys better wake up to this. I'm telling you, you better wake up to it. You better pay attention to what you're hearing here. You better realize that this young man sitting next to me is a hero. He's risking his life to bring you this information, as are many other people operating out of the public eye. You may never, ever in your life know who they are. They're working to save your freedoms for you. And sometimes I have to sit back and watch it. Why are we all doing this? Why am I doing this? Why is he doing this? Why are all these people doing this when most of you out there sit back and do nothing? I have people write me letters and say, I don't want to be in your mailing list because somebody might get your mailing list and they might know who I am. I've had other people write and say, what is that symbol that's over your name when you sign your name on your documents? That's the sign of something evil, and I don't want to be a part of your organization. That's fine with me, folks. To tell you what that is, for those of you who are interested, that's a chop. It was given to me as a gift by the head of the accounting department of the last college where I was the executive director. She was Chinese, went home to Hong Kong for Christmas, and brought that back for me. That's the way the Chinese people sign their name. It literally means the director, the boss. And I've used it ever since because I like it, and I liked her, and it was a gift. And it personalizes my signature. It means nothing more or less than that. But you are right in asking, but you are wrong in assuming and making assumptions. You're also wrong in hiding. I want you to read my lips. New World Order. There's no place where you can go and hide unless you can get off this planet. And forget about aliens bringing all this stuff about. The only people you have to fear are humans. And being afraid is not going to solve our problems because fear itself is a weapon that they use against us. So, I mean, why, if the majority of people are sheeple and aren't going to help save their own butts, why should you be doing this to save them, Will? Why are you doing this?
I have a very, very easy answer for your question, and you already know the answer. It's obvious that you're doing this for the sake of your audience. Whenever you look at your daughter, whenever I look at my family, whenever I slap my dog upside the head, that's why I'm doing it, because I love people in this world, and I love my people, and my people are not going to be safe until I can make this world safe. I see them in direct danger. And I'd like to say, Bill, you have a wonderful way of cutting right to the heart of many matters. You're right about the continuity of the secret societies. They are all one. And I'm here to tell you, he did not just flip through a few books and see a couple of things and say, okay, they're all one, they're all evil. It's not that easy, folks. We have to read and research and research and research and investigate every single corner of this. And believe me, if it looks like a snake, and it slithers like a snake, and it hisses like a snake, well hell, go ahead and step on its head because it's a snake.
Well, it is a snake. If we go right to the philosophy of all of these secret societies is that man was held prisoner in the Garden of Eden by an unjust, vindictive God. That he was denied his own chance to become a god. And that Lucifer, through his agent Satan, set man free with the gift of intellect, the gift of knowledge. And with that knowledge, man himself can become God. Remember, the promise that Satan made to Eve was that God was lying to them. That if they did indeed eat of the fruit of the tree of knowledge, they would become gods. Don't ever forget that. Those who say they are God, those who say they are going to become God, the members of the secret societies, the Mormon Church, others who profess this belief, are practicing the Luciferian philosophy. They have deserted the real true God, and they are following the fallen angel of light, Lucifer, Satan, who's not a god at all. They have all been deceived. If you are one of them, remember, we don't hate you. We are not trying to hurt you. If you want to continue to practice your religion, that is okay with me and any true person who is an American and who believes in the Constitution. It is only when you practice your religion with the aim of taking away my freedoms and forcing me to practice your religion under a New World totalitarian socialist government which you intend to bring about that it becomes not only my business but my duty to stop you. Understand that. And I want to read to you from a book here so that you'll understand where I'm getting to. And I want you to listen very closely to the closing music at the end of our program tonight. This is taken from the Secret Societies of All Ages and Countries. It's in 2 volumes. The author is Hecate Thorne. This particular set of 2 volumes was published, I believe, in 1965. By University Books Incorporated. The Library of Congress number is 65-22572. So I urge you to get this set of books because these books were written back when it was still easy to get a lot of information on the existing secret societies, much easier than it is today. I want to read to you from page 14 of volume 2 under Secret Societies, Freemasonry, Rites and Customs. Paragraph 391 entitled Masonic Customs. Some Masonic peculiarities may conveniently be mentioned here. Freemasons frequently attend in great state at the laying of the foundation stones of public buildings. They follow a master to the grave. Clothed with all the paraphernalia of their respective degrees, they date from the year of light. The Knights of the Sun, the 28th degree of the Scotch Rite, acknowledge no era, but always write their date with 7 noughts, or 00000000. No one can be admitted into the Masonic order before the age of 21, but an exception is made in this country and in France in favor of the sons of Masons who may be initiated at the age of 18. Such a person is called a Louis in England, and that's the source of that name, and a Louveteau in France. This latter word signifies a young wolf, and the reader will remember that in the mysteries of Isis, the candidate was made to wear the mask of a wolf's head. Hence a wolf and a candidate in these mysteries were and are synonymous. Macrobius, in his Saturnalia, says that the ancients perceived a relationship between the sun, the great symbol of these mysteries, and a wolf. For as the flocks of sheep and cattle disperse at the sight of the wolf, so the flocks of stars disappear at the approach of the sun's light. We have seen in the account of the French workmen's unions that the sons of Solomon still call themselves wolves. The adoption of the Louveteau into the lodge takes place with a ceremony resembling that of baptism. The temple is covered with flowers, incense is burnt, and the godfather is enjoined not only to provide for the bodily wants of the newborn member, but also to bring him up in the school of truth and justice. The child receives a new name, generally that of a virtue such as veracity, devotion, beneficence, and the godfather pronounces for him the oath of apprentice, in which degree he is received into the order, which in case he should become an orphan, supports and establishes him in life. Now the key words here, folks, that I want you to remember and pay very close attention to when you hear the closing theme or the music that closes this program tonight is this, and I'm going to quote directly from it. Quote, Macrobius in his Saturnalia says that the ancients perceived a relationship between the sun, the great symbol of those mysteries, and a wolf. For as the flocks of sheep and cattle disperse at the sight of the wolf, so the flocks of stars disappear at the approach of the sun's light. Now remember in chapter 1 of my book, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, there is a quote of these people who have declared a silent, quiet war upon the American people using silent weapons that goes like this. Quote, a nation or world of people who will not use their intelligence are no better than animals who do not have intelligence. Such people are beasts of burden and stakes on the table by choice and consent. Unquote. In other words, cattle. I prefer to call them sheeple, the sheeple of the world. And of course, if they are the wolves, then you are the stakes on the table if you are indeed one of the sheeple. Well, that takes us almost up to the mark. Will, I want to thank you once again, and since this is the last program that we're going to be doing together for quite a while, I'm going to give you the next 30 seconds to tell the people out there, the sheeple, what they should hear.
Thank you, Bill. There's only one message for the sheeple of America, and that is, bah. And as for my family, I love you.
And we're out of time once again. For all of you who have been helping in this great fight, God bless you. For the rest of you, God bless you too. But God help you to wake up in time. And I hope you listen to this closing number. Good night.